Welcome to Switched on Pop. I'm songwriter Charlie Harding. Tonight, we get to have an amazing conversation with Audrey Hobert. Audrey grew up in Los Angeles. She was best friends with Gracie Abrams since middle school, did theater as a kid, went to NYU for screenwriting, and upon graduation, she was a writer for Nickelodeon's The Really Loud House. She started her songwriting career working alongside her friend Gracie on Gracie's second album, The Secret of Us, co-writing hits like I Love You, I'm Sorry, and That's So True. The album went number 2 on the Billboard 200, with songs charting as high as number 6. Then she decided to go and do it on her own. Audrey's debut album, Who's the Clown, came out in August 2025. It blends theatrical wit with indie pop production, and every song is written by Hobert. It's my favorite album of the year. When my cousins and I all put together our best songs list for our big Thanksgiving get-together, all of us chose a different Audrey song. We did not coordinate. My NYU Steinhardt songwriting students usually play it pretty cool, but when I told you all that I was bringing today's special guest, many students in my freshman class screamed. Audrey Hobert went from writing in her bedroom to having a Billboard top 10 hit, and then turned around and wrote a debut album about ugly feelings, anxiety, and 90s sitcoms. And it feels totally singular. Please welcome Audrey Hobert. Yay!
I'm overwhelmed. Oh my gosh, hey guys.
Thank you so much for being with us.
Oh my god, thank you. I'm gonna put on my podcast voice.
Oh.
Okay.
So you bowled a strike on your very first attempt at songwriting. You first started writing just 4 years ago with Gracie.
Not even 4.
Not even 4 years ago.
No.
When you were roommates after college.
Yeah, it was 2 years ago.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
These were literally the first songs you'd ever written. Yeah. And they've been streamed billions of times. As I said, you went into the top 10. I need you to back up a bit. Like, you sing, you play guitar. Where did music start for you? It couldn't have just started 2 years ago.
Oh, no. There's this video from when I was a child, and my little brother Charlie, I must have been...
It's a great name.
Great name.
Sorry.
Great name. My little brother Charlie, I must have been 5 and he must have been 3. And in the home video, he hits his head and we're listening to the radio. And in the moment, he starts sobbing about his head. All Star by Smash Mouth comes on the radio. And I started jumping and totally left him for dead. Like, I've always loved music more than anything. I have always thought that my taste is like objectively correct. Like, I've always been like, if I think a song is good, I've just like analyzed it to filth so much. I know why it's good and I'm right. And yet I never like tried writing a song. I don't know why. Yeah.
But there was some musicality. You did some theater growing up, so I imagine there was some singing.
And I was a dancer. That was like the big music thing, I think, really, because there would be like certain teachers that I thought had better taste and would bring in songs that like really moved me. And like, I remember there was a specific dance we did to Kiss You by One Direction, and I was like, I know I'm going to be in the front line and the center because I feel the song in my bones. And when we all go in groups and we all like, you know, show how well we know the choreography, if we deserve to be in the front line, like, and I was. But yeah, I've theater for sure. Yeah.
And then did you just pick up the guitar magically 2 years ago and...
Well, no, it was with Gracie that I collaborated with her. Like, that was like my first time writing.
Can you take us back there? Like, how did that happen?
Yes. Well, basically, like, we had moved in together. We were really good friends in middle school and we went to different high schools. And then we were in New York for a year together during our college years. And we got really, really, really close then. And we sort of like... She sort of moved in with me unofficially to my studio apartment, and we like shared a bed for a year and would like smoke cigarettes in the winter, like inside. And we sort of always felt like we were in this like fresh kind of Woody Allen movie. Like, we just felt like characters, and we never wrote really then, but our relationship always felt very creative. And then she moved back home to pursue music, and I stayed and finished school, and we sort of like made a deal with each other that we would properly move in with each other one day, and then we did. And April of 2023. And then it was like 6 months into that where somebody we knew came over and was going through a breakup, and she said out loud, "It's just pain these days." And Gracie and I like looked at each other and sang it to each other. And then that person went home, and her and I like wrote an entire song based around "It's just pain these days." And it was like truly jokes, but we were like, oh, it was really fun. And then very soon after we wrote a bunch of songs, she invited me to cut the songs. I'd never like sung on a mic. I had never been in a studio really. And it just totally changed my life and set my heart ablaze in a different way. And also it was so much to do with how I had observed her in this world that I always thought was so fascinating, and that I knew she loved so much. And then I was suddenly in it, but I was comfortable because I was with her. And it was just like, I was never made to feel like green or inexperienced. And I was so respected the whole time. And it was like, I was also like hanging out with my friend.
Yeah.
There were no, it was like, true magic. It really was.
I'm picturing a couple of months. This is like a months long Rocky montage of you like grinding it out.
Oh yeah, but it
making
didn't feel like a
songs.
grind. And it was so interesting too, because I was writing for Nickelodeon, and there were sort of rumblings that the show was going to get canceled. And then around the same time, it was, I mean, it's very like Charmed Life stuff. But, Gracie was never like, she was never like pushing me to do anything, but she was like, these songs are going to come out. You should be properly compensated. Like, I'm going to introduce you to my publisher, and you should at least sign some kind of deal that will get you paid for this. But like, by no means do you need to become a songwriter now. So I did sign a really like small publishing deal that would basically like ensure I would, recoup for my music with Gracie, and then like be out of it. But then the show I was writing for got canceled, and I was like, well, I guess I technically have a job, even though I haven't spent, it feels a little silly at like 24, 25 to now dive headfirst into a career that I had only just like started doing. But then I started writing songs by myself, and I realized that there was much more to my love for it, I guess.
So my understanding is the first song you wrote on your own was the song "Wet Hair."
Yes.
Let's take a listen to that.
I'm at my house, I had a drink. It's windy out, so the walls are creaking. Maybe someone's up there. I used to check every night. Now I don't even lock the door. I'm cutting slack, I'm going out. I guess that's just what life's about. If I heard a whisper, I used to know it was you. So I'll talk to the walls now. And I know that I called without warning. Wanted it to be a whirlwind on purpose. Had to knock a few back to feel normal. Shooting the shit like this isn't important. Sad old me showed up with wet hair like it didn't matter, and I didn't care.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, that's great. Will you take us to the day that you wrote that song? Like, how did you make this choice? I'm doing this on my own. I'm gonna write a song.
Yeah.
How'd this song happen?
Oh, that was more like out of loneliness. Like, this is a strange time where I was living with Gracie. She's on the road at this point, like in a massive, crazy way that she has been for the last few years.
Yeah.
And so my days became, instead of like my Nickelodeon 9 to 5, I was like going to the worst session of my entire life, like not really knowing what the fuck was going on. Like, just
You had a publisher, so your publisher is setting you up with sessions to write with other
A&Rs.
people.
Yeah, like, and I mean, that was harsh. Sometimes they were fine, and these were all like nice people, but I had just come from this electric musical connection with someone who I'd known forever, and then here I am like waltzing into these rooms with like a producer who has a dinner at 6 and like wants to get out of there, and an artist who has no idea who they are, and I am supposed to like I just was like, I think I could, if I wanted to, get really good at this. But I'm 25 and I know this is not what I want for my life, so I'm just gonna like ride this out until I feel like I've learned enough that I can say, I want to do my own thing. But Wet Hair was like, in that first month where I started going on songwriting sessions, and I would just like come home and be like, well, I didn't like that song we wrote in the session, and I've got nothing going on right now, so I'm just gonna like write for fun. And that's what that was. And like with that song, just wrote on, which is something I often do. I will just like write out either by hand or on my laptop exactly what's going on or what I want to say. And then from there, I will try and like either make it rhyme or give it a melody. So like that whole first part was just a free write. And then I picked up the guitar and I sang a melody to it. And I think that's how I get my most interesting melodies is I can't really, I'm not much of a top liner. Like I don't even know if I really believe in that. Like just at least for me of like like, and then let's put words to it. It's like I have to have something to say in order to come up with an interesting melody. And yeah, like I wrote that first verse to the chorus and then wrote the bridge and then put that song down for like 3 months. And then after I'd written, I don't want to jump ahead if you know.
You're right.
But after I'd written Chateau, which was next, and then I Like to Touch People, and then I was like, oh my God, I think I want to do an artist project. I was like, let me revisit Wet Hair because I really just had to show proof to my publishers and my A&Rs. And Wet Hair with that second verse where I go, and I like start singing much faster. That was me being like, all right, so I've written like 3 more songs and I know I can like go fast, and so let me just go fast because it's more interesting than like repeating a melody. You know, to me, like I have a hard time with second verses because I'm so bored of the first verse melody already that I feel so deeply that I need to make the second verse entirely different. And that's something like SZA doesn't do that with like second verse necessarily. Like every melody is different, but you can't ever forget where it goes or what happens next. It's like she's a hero of mine in that way. But yeah.
So Wet Hair as a lyrical device.
Yeah.
Tell us about it.
Oh, well, that was basically like I had just broken up with my ex, and it, you know, I had been with him for a few years, and aside from starting a new career, I sort of felt like the relationship was dwindling, and I also knew like, okay, I'm about to step into a brand new career, and I think I need to do this alone. And you know, I'm not naive or an idiot, so of course in the back of my head was maybe this will be something to write about. This breakup, newsflash, you can't preconceive something like that. Like there are 2 songs on the album that are about him. Wet Hair was the first one I wrote. I just figured, okay, we just broke up. Like we had met up for the first time, and I found that the most interesting part about the evening was the fact that I showed up with wet hair. Like here I am seeing this person who I've been with for a few years, and you know, I am nervous. I am thinking something might happen tonight, but I'm not going to put an ounce of effort into my appearance. I'm just going to like waltz in because I think that's how I feel actually most beautiful and comfortable. As you can see. Right now.
You did arrive with a fabulous
No, I did.
fur
I had
coat.
a huge red fur coat. I thought about wearing it, and then I decided I was going to be normal. Yeah.
You talked about being inspired that songwriting does not have rules.
Yeah.
And this is one that sort of throws them all out.
Yes.
It's kind of all narrative. It feels like verse.
Yeah. I like dislike when people describe my writing as stream of consciousness because it so is not, but this song is fully stream of consciousness because I didn't know really what I was doing. Like I did and I didn't. Like, you know, I'd written with Gracie, but like it's very different when you're in a room alone. And I was just like, is the melody moving me? I don't know.
It is kind of SZA-like writing because the melodies are constantly evolving and changing.
Yeah.
You come back to certain melodies, but it's like not actually clear that there is a chorus.
It's chorus, I know, because it's like, yeah, exactly.
Like the outro sounds kind of chorusy.
Na, 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 na.
Here, can I play that real quick?
Yeah.
Once didn't want you, I know that I called you, I do what I want to do. Yeah, I once didn't want you, I know that I called you, I do what I want to do.
Like now you could go back and do a verse.
No,
and
I chose not to repeat the chorus for a third. I don't like a third time chorus repeat.
Oh yeah, you
I
don't
only
like
do that
any
on
of them.
Chateau, I think.
Yeah.
I usually only like to repeat a chorus twice because
Why
I'm
is
like,
that?
if you want to hear it again, just replay the song. Like that's what I think. Yeah.
That's so fun.
Yeah.
You talked about what Hera is, this lyrical device, and a lot of your music has, there's a lot of songs that have to do with self-image, right? A thirst trap, you sing about, I'm taking thirst traps in the mirror in my room. I think I look bad, so I change the lighting. Phoebe, because why else would you want me? I think I've got an effed up face. Sex in the City. This isn't Sex in the City. Nobody sees me and knows of my column. Nobody sees me at all is the problem, which is an amazing rhyme. Column
Thank
and
you.
problem. I feel like you can only rhyme that when you've come from Southern California.
Totally.
Column.
Yeah. Oh, I
how do
didn't
say it
realize
properly?
what kind of an accent I had until I cut all these songs. And it's California.
So you've experienced some exposure to fame as a pop star, co-writer first, as a sort of best friend. You were, I believe, the first songwriter ever to do the Genius video. Gracie pulled you along.
She made it happen.
There's a loss of self that happens in becoming a public figure. How did it feel to write about self-image for public consumption?
I did not feel like a public figure in the wake of like Gracie's music coming out. I was watching her do that, and she would bring me along stuff, and I loved going along with her. But I felt that was like one of the loneliest times of my life, not because I felt like I was feeling the effects of whatever that was. I just was like actually physically alone a lot. And that's what all of this music came out of. Like, I would highly recommend, I don't think you need to like go to the woods and live in a cabin, but being really alone, like maybe break up with your partner, sometimes no, but like it really helped me. It really helped me to like be so isolated.
What about the opening song? Like, can I play it for a second?
Oh, yes.
I had a thought. What if somebody asked me, what do you like to do? I'd pretend to think, then I'd say, I like to touch people. I like to touch people. I like to touch people.
It's one of the most disarming opening verses to an album I've ever heard.
Oh, I like that you think it's disarming.
It's so funny. I had perceived this as like maybe you wrote this after you had released a few singles, and there was sort of an awareness of, because the verses go on to be like, there's people who are like, I like your music and how good that feels.
No, that's not it at all.
Oh, really?
No, I wrote that after I watched the Steve Martin documentary that's on Apple TV, and I just was so like, it was just one of those Friday nights where, I was alone again, and I was like, this guy, it really all clicked for him in like a mega famous, successful way when he was like as weird as he truly is in his soul. And I mean weird, like in an endearing, great way. At the time, I was writing a one-woman show for stage because I was like, well, I don't know what the fuck else I'm supposed to do.
Well, if you're gonna go to a cafe in Los Angeles, you have to be working.
And that's
on
what I
the screenplay.
did, like 3 times a week for 2 hours, no phone, and I would write. And it was around that time when I was writing this one-woman show that I was also starting to write music, and like, okay, how would I open my one-woman show? And I wrote, I like to touch people, like I think in one night.
Oh,
it's a short
fictional
song though.
Yeah.
And that whole second verse is about what it is like to be me, which is to be at a party with a bunch of people I don't know, and then I am like everyone's favorite person. Sorry.
It's a great experience.
Yeah, it is. And it was like, but I can see why you think it'd be about music. That I guess is like, maybe what's happening now a little bit, but like hand to her heart, some girl I've never met completely loves me.
Yeah. It felt self-fulfilling in the same way that like Lady Gaga's first album is all about like how famous she
Yeah.
is. Also went to NYU.
Yes, no, true.
And you're like, but you weren't famous when you wrote the songs.
Yeah.
How did you know?
No, I never thought about it that way. I never even thought it would be perceived that way.
Yeah.
But that's interesting. No, it was just about like how I'd like crack one joke and some girl would be like, I love you. Yeah.
All right, well, speaking of being seen, I want to go to your biggest single, Sue Me, which really addresses the topic of being seen directly.
Yes.
I knew you'd be at the party, drinking a Coke and Bacardi. Not that it matters, but I'm breaking patterns. I'm getting so good at Pilates. Broke up
so fun. This is such a smash pop song. I feel like this is like if M83 made like a glam rock beat.
Oh my God.
It's a song that where I feel like you're saying the quiet part out loud.
Yeah.
Like there's 30 times, sue me, I want to be wanted. I feel like this is the thing that fundamentally probably half of pop songs are about that.
Yes.
But it's very rarely so direct or so litigious.
Yeah.
How did this song come to happen, and in particular this chorus line?
Yeah, this was an early one. This is the first song I made when I teamed up with Ricky Gourmet, who I made my whole album with. So like all, I had written Touch People, Chateau, Wet Hair, and Sex in the City on my own on the guitar. And then Sue Me was the first song that we made together. And so we made that beat, one of the first beats we made, and I was like so damn sure about it. I was like, this beat is great. And I also was around this time learning that I was unable to write in front of anybody. So that was tough because there would be days where I was like, and also he lived in a studio apartment. So I was like, what am I going to do? Drive, half hour to his place and make him sit in the kitchen while I sit in the living room and try and write a song and not include him at all unless we're like making the actual music. So that's when I learned like I could take a beat. We could spend all day making a beat. I could take it home and then write to it there at home. But with the chorus, that was like, and I swear, I thought it only happened at the movies. I was like talking to Ricky about it, not even thinking I would write a song about it necessarily, but I said, sue me, I want to be wanted. I said it out loud. And then I started, sue me, I want to be wanted. It was like a movie.
That is the part in the movie where you're like, oh, they said the title line. That's so cheesy. Yeah, exactly. They said it out loud.
Exactly.
Wow.
And I sang it to that exact melody, and then it worked with the beat, and then I took it home, and actually, funnily enough, I wrote that whole bridge at a coffee shop, just like with it in the beat in my ears, because also with Ricky, like he would do hot yoga, and sometimes we would get our timing messed up, and so I would arrive like an hour early and he would still be in hot yoga, and I would like have to sit at a cafe and wait for him. So I was like, let me just get some work done.
I'm kind of stunned by this writing process. Every creative person has a different way in, because your songs they never sacrifice story, like narrative all the way through.
Yeah.
Yet also really creative rhyme schemes. Rhyming has this problem in that it makes things more memorable, but it also makes things a little less real.
Yes.
So we have to be careful with how we rhyme. And you have these just so many wonderful little rhyme schemes here. You have your November, Remember, Better, Is It the Latter?
Yeah.
It's really sort of like gentle slant rhymes.
It's not like totally true, but it's enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really love the rhyme of Kismet and Business.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm just I'm so interested because you say that you sort of write stream of consciousness, but yet you have a really strong grasp of the meter, of the rhyme scheme within that stream of conscious writing.
Yes.
So can you just like, when you're writing in that cafe, how are you doing that?
It is stream of consciousness to the point where I can understand what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And then from there, it is make it go like this. It's like, it's in my head already. And I think that is the scientific, mathematical part of it that like I perhaps have possessed and just now discovered. But
so you're hearing the melody as you're writing the words.
Sometimes. Yeah. Sometimes it is simultaneous. Sometimes I would say more so it is, yeah, it's so hard to describe, but it's like, okay, this is what I want to say. And this is the melody that's in my head. And how do I make that fit into the melody a little bit? But then like, usually if I surprise myself with a lyric, I need to make it work melodically. And I think it's lyric first, then melody. Like lyric informs melody.
Right.
But that is like the Queen's Gambit chess on the ceiling thing. That is like the thing that keeps me coming back, and the thing that makes me have to sit there for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours, because it's there. I know it's there, but I have to get it, and it takes me a long time.
Many of your songs are about hard truths set against really beautiful pop arrangements.
Thank you.
Why do you embrace the language of pop music, and what does it do for you? What do you want to do within that?
Because I think
world?
it's the hardest kind of music to write.
Ooh.
I think it's, well, okay, that's like that's an absolute statement. But I just think like, I think about like artists who write, more avant-garde, I guess, like like I think about like Adrienne Lenker as a songwriter, and I'm like one of my gods, and I would be so mortified to sit down and try and write a song like her. Like that is what she does. And I think pop, it's like, it's harder to do because there is sort of an inherent structure.
And then you have to fit into it.
And you have to fit into it. But then obviously, like when I started, I was like, there are no rules, you know? Like as long as it's catchy and as long as there's a story and a sentiment and you can follow, then I am doing what a pop song do. I think
You're kind of, I sometimes think about it as like you're building a game, like a board game, your own sort of board game that has its own rules. Each song is sort of that way, but you also seem to start, I'm already hearing you have some of your own rules. Like you don't, second verses, you're like, I need something new. Not too many choruses.
No.
Narrative is essential.
Yeah.
Let's find some more.
I think that's pretty much it, but we'll see.
Okay.
Yeah.
My favorite song of the year is Sex in the City.
Thank you. Oh, thank you guys.
Let's take a listen to this one.
Oh.
This isn't Sex in the City. Nobody's watching me right in my room. And anyway, when I get home, I take off my cool clothes. Cause why would I stay in those? I go to the bar, that's monumental. And if he's hot and seems into it, it's accidental. What's it like to be admired? Hot and desired. This isn't Sex in the City. Nobody sees me and knows of my column. Nobody sees me at all is the problem. But of course when they do, they're not the one that I want to. But I go to the bar, I'm a believer. So if it's not in the stars, then I don't want it either. I say goodbye and take the bottle. I've never been stronger. Call the Uber and I tell him turn it up. Tell him turn it up, baby. That's my song they're playing. Baby, turn it up. Could you turn it up, maybe? Cause I'm drunk and I'm high, so I'm crushed. Didn't score any guys, so I'm lost. That's all for now, Mr. Driver. Rating you 5 stars.
Wow.
Oh, stop it.
This song feels effortless. Like a walk through one night in someone's life that just came out of a page, like a Carrie Bradshaw column. Like, how did this song happen?
Oh, this took me like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Like a week and a half. And I locked myself. It took me, as soon as I started it, I was like, well, and this was also around the time where I'd like written a few songs for fun. And then it was this song that made me go, okay, I'm going to make an album or, you know, try to do this. I started writing this after one of them New York nights where, you know, just like the subject matter of the song, I felt sort of invisible, which was pretty normal thing for me to feel romantically. Yeah, I had like, you know, been at a bar with my friends and we were talking about Sex in the City, and then I went to a party and I ran into this guy that I knew, and then we ended up like hanging out until 5 a.m. Nothing happened, and I didn't even necessarily want anything to, but I was just like, why didn't something happen? Like, what is written on me that says don't approach me or pursue me? It was sort of like I was in New York actually. It was May of last year, and I was like, you know, had done the session circuit. I was like, I have no sessions lined up for 2 weeks. My brother had this apartment in New York that was vacant. I knew I could go stay there for free and like go see theater, which usually makes me want to like write or, you know, do anything with my life. And truly. And so, yeah, I like within my first few days in New York, I started writing the song. It took me a really long time, and I would start in the morning and finish at night. And some days, I can't stress this enough, like I'm sure you all know, but like I would sit there for 8 hours and I'd get 2 lines that felt good and I'd be like, great day. Like, you know, it took so much mind power.
So earlier we were talking about some very literal songwriting. Here there's sort of like an event, then there's like, I'm in New York City.
Yeah.
You have been talking about Sex in the City. sort of like more different ideas coming together to build a narrative. You are hyper specific in your lyrics.
Yeah.
Is that a tool for diaristic truth, or is it a narrative device to bring us closer into the song?
I don't know what it is. It's how my head works, and it's how I observe the world. And it's like, it reminds me of watching something as a kid. And so I guess I wanted to bring that to my music, that feeling of like being young and feeling like some character in this story just said a line that is about me and makes me feel so comfortable in my own skin. I'm just thinking of, there's this movie, I don't know if you guys have seen it, Mistress America. It's like a Noah Baumbach movie. And there's this line where this younger female character is talking about this older female character that she looks up to. And she says, she has the kind of beauty that doesn't make me want to be more like her. It makes me want to be more like myself. And it's the most beautiful line ever. And I just was like, how can I even embellish a little bit these feelings so that people feel liberated? Like, it was like, that is an active thought, but then most of the thought is like story. And like, if it's specific, great, but I think that it would be such a shame if like the chorus was as specific as the verses. Like, I think it's about balance. Anthemic choruses.
So you studied screenwriting at NYU. You worked for Nickelodeon. How do you think about narrative structure from screenwriting affecting your songwriting?
It's very potent. Like in songs like Sex and the City and Bowling Alley specifically, they're like, you know, I mean, not to toot my own horn, but it's like 3-act structure. Like it is. And I adored the education I got at NYU. And also I think when I stepped into the building on my first day, I had the innate understanding of a story. And then I got to foster it and like make friends and take amazing classes. But I don't feel like there's some phrases that have stuck with me that some professors have said, like a story should always be surprising yet inevitable. And like, you know, random little things like that have stuck with me. But also when I think about like a song like this, I'm like, I was not taught this at school, you know, like that story has been inside me since I went through puberty or something. And thank God I got to write it.
One of my favorite little thing, I don't know if it's about breaking rules or something just unexpected, is it just has the most kicker punchline at the very end.
Yeah.
I'm going to play it for a second. Let me see if I can find a good moment.
Baby, turn it up, could you turn it up, maybe? I was drunk, I was high, I was crushed. He's the love of my life, no he's not. I could've guessed, I'm swearing by it, but I guess you never know until you go and try it. What it's like to be admired, hard and desired.
Ooh.
Oh my God, yeah, I remember because I've been writing that song for so long.
Yeah.
And I also, by the way, like something I would do a lot was call my mom or my sister. Just like every time I wrote a line or like enough to show them, I would show them immediately. My mom and my sister, who are not songwriters. Well, my mom is a little bit. My mom's a singer. But when I could have guessed, I'm swearing by it, but I guess you never know until you go and try it. I was like, you're almost done. You're almost done. You're almost done. And then I wasn't convinced by bringing it back to the first line, the hot and desired.
It's a verse line.
Yeah, it ends the first verse.
Yeah.
Or it's like kind of like, what's it like to be admired? And then I say, what it is like to be admired. And I was not convinced by that. But now, I like it now. But I was more stoked about the guess you never know until you go and try it.
Okay, so that kind of like sticks the landing.
Well, it's like, could have guessed. It references that like I have not had a lot of escapades because I already know. Like I don't need I wish I were someone who needed to make more mistakes to learn, because I think I'd have maybe more to write about, more funny stories at dinner. But I know. I already know how something's going to make me feel usually. That's why I've had like few relationships that have all been like very successful mostly. But yeah, I want to bring it to like, I could have guessed. I'm swearing by it. But I guess you never know until you go and try it. Like, that is true sometimes with life. I think a lot of times with life. And I felt good about that line.
I like that the coming back to this very ending, what it's like to be admired, hot, and desired. It is resonates with the theme that we heard in Sue Me earlier. And again, it's saying something that so many pop songs are fundamentally saying, but sort of looking a little deeper.
Yeah.
And saying the underlying, it's like you went like 5 layers deep of why. Oh, I just want to be like,
I just want someone to think I'm hot.
Yeah.
Like, seriously. Oh my God. I can remember like it was yesterday. Now everyone thinks I'm hot, obviously, but like.
But a lot of songs are like, I'm so hot. And it's like,
Yeah.
and this is like, I want to feel like I'm hot.
Oh my God, yeah, because I was always, and I'm not even trying to be a pick-me, but I was literally always the person standing directly next to the hot person. Like, I swear. I was always like right next to, and I'd have to like make myself known with my wit or like, you know, so that people would look at me, even though that's a horrible quality. But yeah, I was sort of fed up at like 24, 25. I'm like, all right, you know, when am I going to be the one that's looked at? I will say, though, now more people are looking at me. It's not as interesting. It's not. It's really not. It's the thing I'm struggling with the most with this whole thing. Even though I'm quite comfortable and like can carry conversation, I miss observing. I'm observing much less. And so, shit, I got to get back to observing. Yeah.
I want to go to another song, which I think continues some of the themes that we hear throughout the album. I almost feel like home is like a character in so many of your songs. Almost like I feel like I'm there watching you write the song because it starts at home. Yeah. Home is lonely. The walls are creaking and talking. Got to go out and do something.
Yeah.
Right. And so another song that does this, like we heard in Sex and the City, is Bowling Alley.
Yeah.
We're at home. We're gonna go to a mediocre party.
Yeah.
We're gonna have the experience of what it's like to be seen by other people. This one is unbelievably funny, and at the same time hits at a lot of deeper truths. In this case, I'd like to, for our audience, play all the way through Bowling Alley. It's a shorter song anyway,
wow.
so
oh my God,
that's
thank
all right.
you. It's my favorite.
So it went like this, I finished work and then I drove home pissed. Oh God, what's worse than when your shit's all twisted, everything's off. So I hit the joint and now I'm feeling better, and I stripped down south cause I'm the naked neighbor. It's a choice or am I cursed? It's a toss up. Sometimes I get on my knees, pray to God, the birds and the bees. I do it in a crisis, it's a crisis nightly now. And through my nightgown there's a breeze, and out the window through the trees I see it and it's striking. It's a bowling alley party I forgot about. But I got my creams on and my gown on, and I don't think anyone cares if I go or not. It's so wrong to think everyone loves me, but doesn't need to be around me all the time. But I'll be honest, yeah, the bowling alley kinda sounds nice. And I'm invited, so I'll go there tonight. So I get up fast, I hate to keep them waiting. Party's not fun yet, cause I'm too busy praying. God, I'm so happy to be rushing off. So I walk in hard, oh great, nobody noticed till I hit that strike. Then everybody noticed me, everybody loves a winner. Who's gonna tell them I'm a lucky beginner? Sometimes I get on my knees, pray to God, the birds and the bees. I do it in a crisis, it's a crisis nightly now. And from the front door comes a breeze, and out the window through the trees I see it and it's frightening. It's a candle in my room, forgot to blow it out. But I got my jeans on and my crown on, and the whole place totally cares if I go or not. So wrong to think everyone loves me, and they need to be around me all the time. But I'll be honest, yeah, the nightgown kinda sounds nice. I take the trophy and I Irish goodbye. Say it ain't so, I love to go. Say it ain't so, I love to go. Cause I got my creams on and my gown on, and I don't think anyone cares if I'm home or not. So wrong to think everyone loves me, it doesn't need to be about me all the time. But I'll be honest, yeah, the bowling alley kinda felt nice. I turn the light on and I stare at the prize.
It's so fun. It's one of my favorite songs of the year. It is. There's so many of these. Truly, so much humor. I've never heard a song about a bowling alley. Anyone?
What have I done? Like, actually.
This song and so many others feel inspired by the very first moment of the first episode of Seinfeld.
My dad's favorite show that I haven't watched enough.
Do you know what this is all about? Do you know why we're here? To be out. This is out. And out is one of the single most enjoyable experiences of life. People talk about we should go out. This is what they're talking about. This whole thing, we're all out now. No one is home.
We're at a comedy club.
Not one person here is home. We're all out. There are people trying to find us. They don't know where we are.
There's no phones.
Yeah.
Did you read? I can't find him. Where did he go? He didn't tell me where he was going. He must have gone out.
Yeah, wow. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's the pilot?
That's the first episode,
my
first moment.
God.
By the way, do you know they play the soundtrack is live every time?
No.
Yeah.
My dad would
Whoever scored-
probably know this.
yeah.
He'd be ashamed that I don't know this.
But I was like, oh my gosh, I feel like this is like meta commentary on a
That's
number of the songs,
crazy.
including Bowling Alley.
Oh my God. No, it's, yeah.
Well, and obviously, comedy. You cited Steve Martin as an inspiration. What does writing from humor allow you to do in your songs?
Well, it is a way for me to stay interested in what I'm doing. Like I think like it's the most powerful thing is humor.
Oh yeah.
I think it is. Like you always love that funny person. You always do. And when you I make myself laugh a lot, like especially in those lonelier times, like, you know, I had to. It's it's lighthearted. If I'm gonna sing about it, I guess I could connect it to like one of the rules actually that I had for myself was I couldn't like aimlessly complain ever in a song, like because it's just also not who I am by nature. It's like I can have a grievance or a gripe, but you gotta make it okay. Like, so I think humor is a way to do that. It's to make things okay. And I am funny, so may as well just throw that in, like sprinkle it in. It's one of my personality traits. It is who I am.
One of my gripes is in film is like a 3-hour long drama with no humor.
Oh.
Because it is actually there's this feeling of like it's supposed to be lifelike. And
Yeah.
You're like, actually, no.
No, this director thinks he's the hottest shit ever.
In the greatest moments of fear, terror, upset in life, it's like humor is kind of the thing that is like underlying. I'm constantly laughing.
Yeah.
In like on an almost inappropriate way
Yeah.
when terrible things are happening as the only way to get through that moment.
Oh my God, don't ever tell me bad news. I'm going to start laughing, unfortunately. Even if I'm feeling it in my heart, I'm so sorry. Like, I don't know, but I don't feel really sorry.
This is not like this is not a joke song by any means. There's a
No.
much deeper. There's some really heavy stuff going on here.
This was a song that I was like, it was my favorite song of my own. Just because I was like, oh my God, I finally got to like sing about the feeling that is when you've decided like, okay, nothing has come up for me tonight, so I'm going to like do my whole nighttime routine and get fully into bed, and then something's going to happen and I have to make the decision, like, do I take off the night oils, put back on the day oils, even though it's night, and go? Even though I think no one's going to care if I show up. And it's not self-deprecating. Like, I think, like, that's an easy thing to call it. It's not self-deprecating at all. I'm like, because then in the second chorus, I'm like, I know everyone's going to be excited I'm there.
The person in the song sees themselves as both like, nobody's gonna want me.
And-
I'm the center of everything, but also it's not always about me all the time.
Yes, that's
There's,
what
like,
I think that's what it's
a lot of interior, like the head, like constantly second guessing what's going on.
I think it's being young right now. I really do.
There's a moment in the song which feels like I don't know if it has taken on greater meaning, but this question of like, you hit a strike, everyone's like, dang, you're amazing.
Yeah.
And then I'm a lucky beginner.
Yeah, that was a direct reference to like, because I'd known a lot of music industry people prior to like my entry into it. And so I was like, I was at the birthday party of like everybody for their 20th birthday party ever. And then like, would meet them 10 more times. And I'm like, I get it. You meet a lot of people. Now I'm in that position where I meet a lot of people and then I feel like an asshole. But I was on the receiving end of it for so long. And then yeah, then everyone all of a sudden turned to look at me when I like wrote a few songs, and like I was so like by certain people who were not very nice, you know, or not, you know, kind of assholes, you know. It's like, don't look at me now, you know. I'm a lucky beginner. Well, who's to say? Like, I just don't think I'm such hot shit.
Let's go out on a banger.
Okay.
Let's go to the end.
Yes.
Listen to Silver Jubilee.
Yeah. My cousins are here who it's about, so that's
No
awesome.
way.
Yeah, Savannah and Emma.
Sweet.
Special shout out, Jackie.
I've been working for the man, but I got other plans tonight. I hit the first flight out of here. All these guys in LA aren't my type, and Savannah's 25. And I left her man at home. Sits quietly, sips daiquiri, so I confiscate her phone, and it's a hard knock life. I'll bet you he survives. You'll probably end up together, but baby's not here tonight. I'ma put my drink up, it's drinks up now. I'ma tell my sister she's perfect. Yeah, I'ma live it up like my life starts now. When you could miss it, it's over, it's all night. Yeah, I'ma take a shot, I'ma pour one out. I'ma fall in love just to find out you're crazy. I'ma live it up like my life starts now. When you could miss her, it's over, it's alright. I'll be here when it gets bad.
So Silver Jubilee to me sounds like almost like a sister song to Closing Time. It's the song you're
Love
supposed
it.
to play before closing time. And they both share something in common as well, which is that not just that they're like a bar rager song, but that Closing Time was about Dan Wilson becoming a father and the sort of loss of
I didn't know that.
innocence of being like an individual in the world and not having
Stop
to be.
it.
Yeah, it's like the bar closing is like his young adulthood.
Yeah.
Your song Silver Jubilee is celebrating quarter life, is the Silver Jubilee.
Yeah.
But it's also sort of fear of that moment ending. It feels like it's a bar rager, but it's actually, I'm going to tell my sister I love her, celebrating your cousins. Was this written from a place of joy or from a place of anxiety over loss of that young adulthood moment?
It was joy. It was mostly joy. And what I did not intend for any of it to be about like fear of loss of anonymity. Like, but that is partly what it's about too. Truthfully, like, I had one song left to write. So I wanted my album to be 10 tracks, and then I signed my deal and they were like 12, and I was like, okay. And I had like Don't Go Back to His Ass is a song that like I had written that chorus in June and then picked it back up in September and like finished it because I was like, oh, okay, 2 more songs.
Wait, so you were 12 for 12 songs. All 12
Yeah.
songs you wrote became your 12 songs.
Yes. And then Silver Jubilee was like, I had one song left to write. My cousin Savannah was turning 25, and her and her friend Allison were doing a joint birthday party called the Silver Jubilee, into the celebration of the 25th year of a special event.
Yeah.
And so the dress code was head to toe silver. All of the cousins were there. It was in Philly, and I had signed my record deal the day before I flew out. And I'd like, put that, pen to paper, and I signed my contract in my childhood bedroom because of course I had to. My label was like, really? Like, they wanted me to like come in and pop champagne, and I was like, no, I need to do this in my childhood bedroom. And then I flew to Philly, and I remember Emma and Savannah picked me up from the airport, and I got in the car and I was like, if this weekend is amazing enough, I'll write my last song about it. And then it was, but really it was just so much fun. My sister was there, and she was like, I'm gonna tell my sister she's perfect. She was like, I just kept crying because she's my younger sister. I just kept crying every time I looked. We were trashed the entire weekend, like trash. And every time I looked at her, I would start crying because I thought she was so pretty. And then, yeah, I also was in this weird thing where I'm like, okay, I've written all these songs. Oh my God, if I am lucky enough, I will be in a bar one day, this trashed, and my own song will come on, and I won't be embarrassed. I will be so filled with glee. And I just remember wrestling with like, I love my anonymity. I love being out in the world more than I love doing anything. And I wish my song were playing right now. So that is like, I don't know what that is, but that's what the song ended up being about. Even though what I was trying to do was write I Got a Feeling, which is crazy. Like, no one should try to do that. But I meant like anthemic. Like, I just was like, I don't want to get too specific about this weekend because I honestly shouldn't. And I want obviously to include my cousins' names. I want to shout out my sister. But I want it to be like general. I want it to be, I wrote it as a closer. It was definitely a closer. And I was, oh, shut up.
You leave us with a little bit of doubt, though.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest, I don't really party, I just sit at home. But, well, maybe for the sake of the story, I'll throw it back to the chorus, so here you go. I'ma put my drink up, I'ma tell my sister your secret.
If you're being honest, you don't really party, you don't really go out, mostly sitting at home in your apartment writing songs.
Well, yeah, no, that was the Silver Jubilee and like Shooting Star were two songs that like gave me hell because I was like trying to channel this party and I was so not really partying, but I feel it's so visceral for me to party. And when I do party, it's like life-changing almost every time. And so I want to obviously write songs about it, but I was on like, again, week 2 of writing fucking Silver Jubilee. And I was like, I'm sick of this shit. I want this to be over. And it was my last song, 8 months straight of writing and like basically seeing nobody. And I was like trying to write about whatever this is. Like, and I was just, again, can't stress enough, looked like shit in my apartment. Like, if I'm being honest, I don't really party. I just sit at home. And I think a very potent feeling of college for me was like I just didn't ever feel like I got invited to enough parties. And that was my first like experience with FOMO, which is the worst feeling on the planet. It's the worst. And I wanted to sing directly to a girl who was like at home alone on a Friday night in her dorm, like who, felt awful about herself. But if, I'm this cool pop singer and I'm like, that's me too, like that would have made my life back in college because it was truly my first experience with FOMO was during college. And it's the worst. I haven't had it in a very long time. I don't get that anymore, obviously. No. No, I really don't. But I wanted to like sing directly to that person.
You also sing about you just want a normal life. You reflected earlier, that's getting weirder.
Yeah, it's not all it's cracked up to be. I'm telling you. No, it is. But it's like, it is in many ways. I can't express, like, I have, from the time I popped out, wanted to be regarded and respected for being a writer. It's all I've ever wanted. And so now it's like, this is like, biggest dream come true of my life is this evening. I'm telling you, this is what I fantasized about as I was writing, like just getting to talk about the songs. And so thank you guys for listening. Like, thank you. And thank you for having me. But yeah, then, when you spend your whole, I can't even get into it. It's like, I don't feel like famous or anything. Sometimes people notice me on the street and I get some strange looks, but like, I don't feel like I'm Lady Gaga. Like, I'm not like my life is completely flipped upside its head. It's like things are a little different, but obviously I'm going with this career. I'm gonna like keep pushing. I'm gonna keep performing live. So who knows what will happen? And I obviously, all I want more than anything is to keep writing music because that's the most interesting thing I can do. But I miss observing a little bit. It's like I wrote like a chorus once about like the grass is always greener. Just a new concept. Like it's true. It's like the years between like 21 and 24 were like the most confusing years of my entire life. Like truly. I was living in an apartment for 3 months next to the 10 East in Los Angeles. I was house sitting in the Palisades. I was working a random job. I had bald spots from my OCD. I had trichotillomania. I felt like, disgusting. I felt amazing. And I was always wishing for this. And I'm totally like made this happen, and I'm very happy to be here. And also I look back on that time and I was like, that's an interesting person. That is a very interesting person. And you don't feel as interesting when you're like doing stuff like this all the time. I think I'm like in a good spot because I try to stay off social media. Like I've been bad lately, but like I make a concerted effort to not like waste my brain. And so, yeah, I'm like always combating parts of this that are supposed to like ruin you. Maybe I haven't even scratched the surface, but I'm incredibly concerned with like preserving my normal life and the people in my life. And like you get very busy. And anyway,
I'm really glad that your Nickelodeon show got canceled.
I mean, me too.
No, not on behalf of them, but on behalf of we got this great album.
Yeah.
You might have been working in that job still, right? So you do have a screenwriting experience. If this is sorry if this is too heavy-handed of a metaphor, but if album 1 is like pilot, what's the log line of what happens next in your music career? What's season 2 look like?
Oh, I think something I've been thinking about recently is how opposed and scared I am to write about like any glimmering anything of fame, because I don't know if it's relatable, and I would rather be that and just normal. And I think something snapped in me lately where I'm like, I'm just gonna write about it. It's probably, I'd hope that anyone who's invested in me as a songwriter is not looking for me to like be anything that I'm not actually, So if I'm gonna write about the black cars, gear up, and I hope you like it.
Oh, you're getting a better Uber this time.
Yeah, exactly. No, truly.
Audrey, this has been super fun.
Yeah,
thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Really
it's been
appreciate
wonderful.
it.
Thank you guys.